It was supposed to be just another ordinary flight until the woman in the pink hoodie walked in. No one knew her name, no one knew what she'd done. But before that plane landed, every single person on board would be standing in silence. Even the Air Force would stop mid-flight just to salute her. She looked like nobody. But that was their first mistake. The jet hummed softly as passengers filed into business class, designer suits, expensive perfumes, and smug smiles everywhere. Rachel Monroe adjusted the strap of her worn green backpack. Her gray hoodie was creased from travel, her shoes were scuffed, she didn't fit the room's glossy perfection, and everyone noticed. A man in a navy suit whispered loudly, "Lost sweetheart economy that way." His seatmate laughed without looking up. Rachel said nothing, her eyes stayed calm. She'd faced worse than whispers. "Ma'am," the lead flight attendant said, flashing a professional smile that didn't hide her irritation, "we're full in economy, so I guess you'll just have to sit here." Her tone made it clear Rachel didn't belong. She nodded politely and slid into seat 12F. The man beside her, Rolex glinting, tablet glowing, gave her a look that said, "You don't belong next to me." His name tag read, Richard Hale. The plane began to taxi. Rachel gazed out the window, watching the sky open wide. Behind her, a younger woman leaned forward, voice dripping sugar. "Must be nice, huh, sitting up here for once." Rachel turned slightly, her voice was soft but steady. "It's just a seat." That quiet confidence silenced the laughter instantly. For the next hour, Rachel said nothing. The others drank wine, bragged about stock prices, and snapped selfies with their sparkling glasses. When the flight attendant came down the aisle with menus, she skipped Rachel. "I'm sorry," she said, voice bright, "we only have enough for our premium passengers." Richard chuckled, "Water's fine for her, I'm sure." Rachel nodded, "Water's fine." No anger, no sarcasm, just control, the kind that unnerves bullies. Halfway through the flight, the captain's voice echoed over the speakers. "Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be making a short refueling stop at Andrews Air Force Base. Please remain seated until further notice." A few passengers clapped. Military bases were fascinating to them, something exotic. Rachel's expression didn't change, but if anyone had been paying close attention, they might have noticed how straight her posture suddenly became. The attendant Olivia smirked. "Something interesting, ma'am." Rachel's eyes flicked toward the window. "Yes, I used to know this base." Olivia rolled her eyes. "Sure you did." As the plane descended, jets lined the runway, F-22s gleaming like silver knives. The passengers pressed against the windows, whispering excitedly. "Imagine being those people," one man muttered. Rachel just smiled faintly. The plane rolled to a stop, engines idled, the door opened. A tall figure in full uniform climbed aboard, Major Kyle Bennett, commander of the 102nd Fighter Squadron. His boots hit the floor like thunder. The chatter died instantly. "Excuse me," Olivia began, stepping forward, "this is a private flight." But the major ignored her, his eyes swept across the cabin and froze. "On seat 12F. He blinked, then his voice dropped. "Midnight Viper, is that really you?" The room went silent. Richard laughed awkwardly. "What is this, some kind of prank?" But Bennett's expression was pure respect, no hesitation, no doubt. "My apologies, ma'am," he said, voice steady. "You're invited to the tarmac, command's been waiting for you." Rachel stood, the cabin fell into stunned silence. Every eye followed her as she slung her faded backpack over her shoulder, the one with the old eagle patch stitched to the side. "Wait," Olivia stammered, you know her." Bennett turned slowly. "Know her, she's the reason half my squadron's still alive." Gasps rippled through the cabin. Outside, the bright sun hit the tarmac. F-22 pilots stood in formation, boots aligned perfectly. Bennett's voice rang out. "Squadron attention, present arms for Major Rachel Monroe, call sign Midnight Viper." Every pilot saluted. Rachel returned it, sharp and flawless. Through the cabin windows, faces pressed against the glass, the same passengers who had mocked her now watched in shock and shame. A young pilot stepped forward, holding a worn flight helmet. "Ma'am," he said quietly, "you signed my logbook 3 years ago. You're the reason I made it home." Rachel smiled softly. "You made it yourself, son, I just cleared your skis." As she walked back toward the plane, the air was so still you could hear hearts beating. Olivia waited near the doorway, her face pale. She whispered, I'm sorry, ma'am. Rachel nodded once, kind but distant. You were doing your job. She stepped past her and took her seat again, calm as ever. No lecture, no anger, just quiet dignity. When the flight took off again, no one said a word. No more laughter, no whispers. Just respect, heavy and earned. Through the window, Rachel looked down at the base shrinking beneath the clouds. Her reflection stared back, the quiet woman they all thought they knew. And for the first time in years, she allowed herself a small smile. Because sometimes the strongest people don't need to prove who they are. They just need the sky to remember. Never judge someone by their clothes, because heroes don't always wear uniforms.